What's up, y'all? We back. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. Hey, remember, y'all, be your own leader. Don't be a follower. Be a leader. Don't always be quick to follow the crowd. Don't be always so quick to go with what's trending. Don't be a part of the go along, get along gang. Use your own eyes and your own mind. Your own eyes and your own mind. I think people are afraid to stand alone these days because they feel like they're going to be left out. But you're not missing out on nothing. There's more distractions out here than anything. And sometimes I use these distractions as a form of entertainment and education. This is why this, when we say a lot of times this is for entertainment and educational purposes only, it's just giving an opinion. But don't make that the main key to your life. Anyway, back to the entertainment and education. In this video, I want to talk about boxing. Salute to the boxing world, boxing fans. Of course, we all know there's a great fight coming up, July 29th, between Bud Crawford and Errol Spence. May the best man win. I've already had my prediction and choice on who I think would win and be victorious, but in this video, I'm not going to necessarily talk about that. But I am going to talk about how the judging has been for certain boxers and how judges favor certain boxers based on who they're connected to. Errol Spence is very favored. He's highly favored. Who's he highly favored through? Jerry Jones, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Fort Worth, Oak Cliff, pretty much all of Texas. But something came to my mind this morning. My subconscious was talking to my conscious mind, and I was like, oh, great point. I had to tell my subconscious mind, great point you just made. I said, you know what, I'm gonna make a video about that. And what's the great point that my subconscious mind made to make me want to make this video? Sean Showtime Porter. When Sean Showtime Porter fought Errol Spence, it was a very, very close fight. In my opinion, it was Errol Spence's toughest fight to date. I felt like every round Porter was smothering and dominating Errol Spence. Except for technically the 11th round because he got knocked down. But I thought he was winning that round too, to be honest. But the end result was they gave, I think it was a split decision to Errol Spence over Sean Porter. I actually didn't agree with that decision. I thought either it should have been a split decision win for Porter or a draw. But let me let y'all just think about this right here, y'all. Sean Porter fought Adrian Broner some years back. Just think about what I'm about to say. Sean Porter fought Adrian Broner. He was dominating the fight. Sean Porter was doing the same thing to Adrian Broner that he did to Errol Spence. Smothering him, dominating him, hitting him from different angles, being hard to hit, not making it hard to land a good punch on Porter. Being the busier fighter, being the more aggressive fighter. And Broner couldn't do nothing with Porter until what? The 12th round. Just think about what I'm about to say. And what happened in the 12th round, y'all? Y'all boxing fans, y'all know exactly what happened. Adrian Broner caught Porter, landed a knockdown in the 12th round. Porter got right back up, and he went right back to fighting. And the end result was Porter got the decision. Unanimously, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it was a split decision, but I think it was unanimously. I feel like he won unanimously. So, fast forward some years ahead, Porter fights Spence. It looks exactly the same way. He's dominating him, smothering him, more aggressive, more busier, making Spence miss a lot, hitting Spence a lot. It showed because if you seen Spence's face after the fight, he was marked up, nicked up. You would have thought he played on the New York Knicks with all them nicks on his face. He was dominating the fight, in my opinion, from my lens. And then he got caught. Errol Spence clipped him with a right hook, if I'm not mistaken, in the 11th round. And just like in the fight against Broner, Porter got right back up. And actually, when he got back up, he said, all right, let's go. Let's go. So he finished out the 11th round. He wasn't hurt. And then the 12th round, I can't remember who they gave that round to. I'm not sure who won. I can't remember who won the 12th round. But I think Porter might have won the 12th round. Because he came back stronger and he started dominating. So he wanted to get some get back for that knockdown from the 11th round. The only difference between Porter fighting the fight that Porter had against Broner and the fight that Porter had against Spence was the end result. The judges gave Porter the decision over Broner, even though he got knocked down in the 12th round against Broner. But the judges gave Spence the fight over Porter. I guess because he knocked down Porter in the 11th round. So how is it that Porter fights a damn near an exact identical fight against Spence that he did against Porter? The same result happened. The only difference was he got knocked down in the 12th round against Broner, and he got knocked down in the 11th round against Spence. He finished the fight in both fights, but the judge's decision the decision was two different decisions. Or the decision was different, though. He won against Broner, even after getting knocked down against Broner, but he lost against Spence. Excuse me. Because he got knocked down against Spence. So, I think this kind of proves my point. Spence was already favored. They already expected Spence to win. But I don't think they expected Spence to have as much trouble as he did against Porter. But they gave the decision to Spence. And Porter, you know, I like his competitiveness in the ring, but I don't like the fact that he don't ever try to dispute a decision. Like, if he felt like he was wronged, you know, you need to be like, speak out. But it seems like he's satisfied with taking an L as long as he gave it a good effort. But I felt like they did Porter wrong. But because Porter is tied to PBC, I feel like he's on code, and he's gonna say what the appropriate thing to help at least keep PBC up to a higher standard, or, you know, keep them up to high regard. But Porter should have tried to get a rematch or try to do something. Well, I don't know if Spence would have given him a rematch anyway, but I felt like Porter was robbed in that fight against Spence. And because Porter was not mad enough, or he didn't seem like, it was almost as if Porter felt like, all right, man, whatever, man. Y'all gave him the decision. Okay, I wanted that. But the same thing happened. He had the same performance against Broner. He was dominating Broner. And next thing you know, he gets knocked down in the 12th round. But the judges, or the particular judges that was judging that fight, they felt like, well, nah. Even though Broner scored a knockdown, Porter won this fight. He was dominating the whole fight. You can't give him the decision off of getting knocked down in one round when he dominated the majority of the rest of the rounds. That's how I felt when Porter fought Spence. I felt like he was dominating damn near all the rounds. I'm not going to say he won every round, but I felt like he dominated the majority of the rounds. And he ended up getting knocked down and getting clips. He got caught in the exchange in the 11th round. Got right back up. I don't understand how the same thing that Porter did to Broner, Porter also did to Spence, but the judges gave a completely opposite decision, a completely different decision. So I guess they weren't going to give Porter another unanimous decision win or split decision win after getting knocked down again in a close fight. I didn't feel like it was that close, but the judges and the critics, they felt like it was a little more close because it was a real rugged fight. So they both was throwing punches, and it was hard to see who was hitting who. But really, Spence, you know who was hitting who more, because Porter didn't have that much nicks on his face at all, and Spence's face was all the way nicked up. He looked defeated. He was ready to get back to his farm, his ranch, and get some more cows and chickens. And it's like, man, this dude, he thinking about retiring already. But did Broner get robbed? I mean, not Broner. Did Porter get robbed? Is there favoritism being shown to Errol Spence because he's Errol Spence, because he's the prodigal son for Dallas, and he, he's their cash cow. He's the face of PBC. But y'all go back and look at the fight that Porter had against Broner, and then go back and look at the fight that Porter had against Spence, and tell yourself, was there really much of a difference in the performance that Porter had Porter had against Broner, and the performance he had against Spence? And then you got to be honest with yourself and ask yourself, like, hey, well, did Porter really deserve to be did he really deserve that loss against Spence? I think it probably should have been a draw, and then it should have been a rematch. It was that close. Or I'll just say this. Porter fought a good enough fight to where it should have been at least a rematch made, because it was just too close. Just like, when Mayweather fought, what's that dude's name? I think it started with a C. The little short Mexican dude. Back in the day. They made him rematch. And then, remember when Mayweather fought Marcos Maidana? It was too close. A lot of people said it could have went either way. So, Mayweather had to rematch him. But this is my thing, man. I just feel like they play favorites. I feel like Porter, he had to knock out Spence, or he had to score a knockdown against Spence in order for him to win the fight. I feel like as good as Porter fought against Spence, even including the knockdown, they weren't going to give Porter the fight anyway unless he dominated or got Errol Spence out of there in dominant fashion, or if he knocked Spence down. But I feel like if Porter didn't get a knockdown or a knockout, he wasn't going to win the fight against Spence. If Porter didn't get a knockdown or a knockout against Spence, he was not going to win the fight. Because to me, he dominated the fight, the whole fight. He got caught. It's like on accident, pretty much. But no, he got caught in the 11th round. He clearly was not hurt. He sure didn't get dominated like how Bud dominated him, which, well, actually, it was a close fight. Porter was it was just as close, but see, Bud had a lot more poise and calm against Porter. He didn't get rattled with the aggressive attack from Porter. But all Bud had to do was, wait to time him, be patient and time him. But unfortunately, for Bud, it took somebody on the side to say, "Hey, man, you need to pick it up, bro. You down on the scorecards." And that's when Bud was like, "All right," and he got him up out of there. So you can't say nothing when it comes to Bud and Porter fighting, because Bud got him up out of there. He stopped him. All y'all want to make excuses. Oh, his dad stopped the fight prematurely. Did you think that Porter was going to bounce back after getting knocked down twice? You don't think Bud was going to finish him off? Or say, y'all going to come and make up a little story and say, oh, Porter would have came back and he probably would have won the fight. Man, y'all some delusional fanboys. Those are y'all some Errol Spence fans. Those are the Errol Spence fans saying that just to try to defend the lack of credibility from Spence and how badly he struggled against Porter compared to Bud. Y'all got to stop acting out here. Y'all got to stop trying to make up excuses because y'all look more dumb. The fight is on between Bud and Errol. May the best man win. I favor Bud in this fight. But at the same time, I just had to bring to the light the difference, the double standards and the hypocrisy, and how the way they judged Porter's performance against Broner when Broner scored a knockdown against him. But they didn't give the decision to Broner. But then Errol Spence scores a knockdown against Porter, even though Porter was dominating him the whole fight, and they gave the decision to Spence because Spence is their favorite. Spence is their guy. Spence is their prodigal son. And Jerry Jones, he's made his investments in Spence. I wouldn't be surprised if they been giving that boy some PEDs to help him to knock off all that extra weight and to keep himself performing at the top level or a high level. But there's a lot of suspect stuff that's been going on around Spence that a lot of us know about. And it seems like they always gonna cover for him, take up for him. The media's gonna always they're gonna only highlight the good about Errol and try to make him look like this family guy and everything like that. But they ain't gonna highlight none of his foul stuff outside of the ring that he's been doing and that he was been involved in. Mo 3. But anyway, may the best man win. I wish Porter would have had a lot more to say, but he's friendly and he's loyal to the PBC family, so he was not going to speak against Errol, even in the aftermath of him getting robbed against Errol Spence. But I felt like Porter beat Errol, but they gave the decision to Errol because Porter had the same kind of performance against Errol that he had against Broner. And he got the decision over Broner, but he just couldn't get the decision over Spence. But Bud stopped Porter. So let's see what happens July 29th, and may the best man win.